And welcome to the Super Fun Awesome Happy Time pedal show. My name is Gabor.
Hey, welcome along. I'm Alex, and this is the SLIVER from Anasounds.
Yes.
Optical tremolo.
Indubitably.
Also have the spinner here, which is fun too.
Yes.
Get into that. Hey, welcome, and we're going to check out some sounds. If you like and subscribe on the channel, give us a thumbs up and ding the notification bell, and we'll let you know when there's some more Anasounds stuff and general videos on its way.
And big thank you to the awesome people at Studio Connections here in Australia, and also to Alex at Anasounds.
Hey, mate.
Another Alex, not that Alex. A more French Alex.
Yes, much more French.
Much more French.
So set up today, the guitar's through the pedal into the Mozztronics Amp Switcher, which is fantastic. And that's going into the amp, which is a Cherry Tone OTS Mini 20.
This is stunning.
Yep. It's a single 12 with a greenback LEWITT MTP440.
Louis Pickle.
It's a microphone. And there's also a cab IR thingy from 2 Notes, which is Torpedo Captor X, doing some stereo IRs and some reverb.
And there's a video up there for the Captor X. And hello, Guillaume and Jason from 2 Notes. And yes, so I'll turn the reverb on and off-ish.
No, don't turn reverb down.
And it's sort of blenderized to the Captor and the
microphone.
Mic is
blenderized. So
technical terms.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Sure. Quick overview. This is a bunch going on.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, of course. So we've got 4 knobs, a switch, and a tap tempo. So, but then we also have secondary features. So we've got out is just the volume basically. Rate is the speed of the tremolo, which you can see here. Can you see that light flashing? Yes, I think you can see it. So it's red at the moment, which means it's off. But it gives you an indication on how fast it is going. You have a depth, which is how deep you want it to go. So whether you can have it so if you set it to square mode, you can have that so it's completely off. You know, so a lot of depth.
Yeah.
And then you've got the subdivisions, which give you different subdivisions. So you've got, it's a bit hard to read, 2-to-1, so you've got, it basically goes half of what you're tapping. You've got 4-4, which is the same speed as what you're tapping. You've got 1-to-2, which is for every tap there's 2. And you've got 1-to-3, which is triplets, basically. So it's 3 for everything you tap. That's the first kind of knob things, technical term. Once you hold this pedal in, now it's on, but you hold it in for long, it goes to dark blue. Now all these become secondary functions, which, I'm going to grab my little cheat sheet here because I can never remember these things properly. This, and I should have mentioned that before as well. In normal mode, this changes LFOs. So you go from sine to triangle to a square. That's what that switch does. You hold it in, goes to dark blue. Now that gives you 3 different waveforms. It doesn't actually say what it is, but it says 3 new waveforms. This becomes a symmetry, and at 12 o'clock it's where it normally is. Symmetry means, so you've got the waveform, and whether you want it's like equal or it's sort of ramping, I guess. Or in square mode, wave mode, it goes to where the on and off, so it's longer ons, shorter offs. We'll get through all that. And then this is where you can kind of make your own subdivisions by turning the knob. And this gives you different subdivisions. So it actually goes to 5/8. Hang on, it says it's hard to read in this light. So you've got 7/8, 3/4, 5/8, and 1/4. Yeah, different. There's different. There's different subdivisions. Yeah, and then you've got the spinner, which is a thing we'll get into later in the video. So, it's a cool thing. Lots of talking to know about. Should we start?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just start on whatever it is set to now. So it's that's off again. So it goes quite fast, but it's Lovely sounding. So I believe up is sine wave on this, middle is triangle, and down is square. So you could really hear the square where it's sort of when you turn the depth up, sort of that on-off thing.
Chop chop.
Chop chop, very choppy.
Uncle chop chop.
So then you can, for example, you can change the subdivision. So for example, if you've got triplets, that's always a, you know, that's a good way of. Lovely. Oh yeah, and if you hold that in, it ramps. That's right. I forgot about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
That's a very cool thing.
Hold
Yeah.
the
So
tap side.
you have Now let's quickly look at the spinner as well.
It's
So
cool.
you don't need to use the spinner. I mean, if it's all there, but the spinner just gives you extra modulation options, basically.
Also gives you extra street cred.
Yes, because you've got a fidget spinner looking thing on your pedal board.
You get to kick it.
You get to kick it. So it comes with this little like headphone jack style pedal, cable that you attach to here. You've got a switch in the back with 3 different switches. But let's just see what it does for now. So the first setting it is on now. Basically, as I'm spinning that, it will speed up the tremolo, and then as the spinner slows down, it goes back to normal. So. Now the other setting is if you flick the switch down, it slows the tremolo down.
Should we speed the rate up so it's really obvious?
Okay. So it gives you different options with the modulation. And then you've got the middle setting, which is what they call the kill switch setting, which it basically goes in sync with the... So there's a sensor there. So it shows you you've got a sensor here, so and a magnet. And I guess that senses the magnetic field or something like that. I don't know, every time it goes over it. And the kill switch, basically, it makes it go in unison with the spinning of the...
There's tiny little pixies on a treadmill.
Yes, that's
and
what it
some
is.
crystals.
It's mostly crystals.
Unicorn tears.
All this stuff is pretty much crystals. Most pedals, it's just crystals inside.
You have to charge them in the moonlight.
Yes. All right, let's do this.
It's not 9 volt, it's moonlight charge.
Moonlight charge, yes. So that's that. Now, secondary function. Once you get into the secondary function, so one thing you can do, it's probably, maybe it's got triangle wave. It's maybe a good way to hear that. The symmetry. Let's look at the symmetry first. So we're going into this. At the moment, it's set to kind of normal symmetry. Now it slows down. Let's turn a depth up all the way, then you can hear it best. So
on the left, it kind of sounds like a odd slap back delay, doesn't it?
Well, so on the left, I think what it does is you've got a triangle wave, right? So it's kind of you know, the sound kind of that's the volume is on a triangle wave basically. What the Symmetry does, it moves the top point. So I think to the left it's a very quick on and then a more longer off. So you get that kind of, it's almost like a head of the beat kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go the other way, it's sort of a bit almost lazy at behind the beat kind of vibe, because you've got the longer on ramp, quick off, almost like a sawtooth kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really obvious when you go to the square wave. So if we go to the square wave, let's go to 4/4.
My chair.
So square wave.
Yep.
Yeah, you basically got on off. Now if we go to the what's the Macaulay setting?
Yeah. Latin.
Yes. So with that, basically, with the square wave, it almost, so it's, if you imagine a square wave, so it's basically off, on, right? Now the distance between the ons and the offs is what you sort of change. So all the way to the left, it's it's off the longest, and the on bit is the shortest. As you go clockwise, it becomes almost always on, because the offs are so tiny. I hope you understand what I mean. But it's really cool. Now some of the other functions are basically, if you go into here, you've got different subdivisions, and you can make your own. Oh, you've got, actually these are different too. So you've got different waveforms here.
Quick sense in the waveforms.
Hang on, let's do the depth all the way up as well. That was almost like a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, you know, it's like has like this little second little bit there.
It's patterned.
And then the bottom one is a random setting, I believe. So you've got different, and then you've got different subdivisions too, which, I mean, if you're into that sort of stuff. And then you can sort of set your own subdivisions with this as well, which, I mean, we can see by twisting that, you can sort of see what it does, and it kind of speeds up and slows down, and you can kind of go crazy. So there's lots of sort of secondary functions. But yeah, all up, I think it's a pretty cool. And then as soon as you go back to the normal setting and do something here, that kind of overwrites the secondary function.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice sounding optical tremolo. The spinner thing is an interesting idea, just to get slightly different sort of sounds to what you would usually get.
Yeah.
It's a nice pedal. Artwork is fantastic. I love that sort of etched thing. We need to do some close-up photos of that.
So, for me, the thing with these, this one in particular, is where it can be simple or complex. And it can be just a straight tremolo, just kind of classic amp style trem, or you can get into some crazy stuff with the spinner expression or the wave shapes and kind of go deep.
Yep.
And it's not difficult to go deep. There's no menu diving.
No.
There's no don't have to learn stuff for days and days.
No.
You just hold the button down and just go to town.
No.
So it's very accessible. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it is. It is. All these pedals are great. So let's say there's a link to which one? Utopia Delay. That's
Delay.
a beautiful delay, actually. There's a video for that
pretty.
here. So yeah, I like Anasound stuff. I think it looks good, always sounds good.
Yep.
And it's an interesting take, I think, on this.
Very cool.
So that's a sliver, I guess.
Thoughts and questions below.
Yes.
Comments down in the comment section. Hey, below there's links to our Instagram, Facebook group chat, which check out. That's been pretty cool lately, and also a podcast. And we chat about all this kind of stuff.
Most likely be talking about these very pedals.
Talk about your favourite Eric Clapton albums.
Oh, non-stop. It's mostly anything Blues Low related.
Cool. So, thanks for hanging. We'll see you soon.